That's fatal.
This insane Fast and Furious fan theory might actually be true. I love me a good fan theory.
This Fast and Furious...
I love me a good fan theory. Let's fucking go.
This Fast and Furious movie theory may not just be a meme. The
All right,
simple
Deathstroke.
truth is, this might be real.
Let us know what it
Fast
is.
and Furious movies, after a certain point in time, became something else. And there might be a deeper reason why. These movies are not what you think they are, a facade. What I'm about to tell you in this video is 199% the honest truth.
Really?
I am not schizophrenic. I'm not. Hear me out.
Thank you for the warning.
I promise you'll walk away from this video with your mind blown.
All right, let's do it. All right, you hear that, chat? By the end of this theory, we're gonna feel like we're gonna have our mind blown, but we're also gonna feel like, damn, that's a real that sounds true. Let's see if he can convince us. Let's see if Deathstroke over here can convince us about his theory.
This video, a Fast and Furious video, quite some time ago, it blew up. It's one of my most viewed videos of all time. But I made the claim that the Fast and Furious movies went from street racing to Avengers, and I wanted to explore why. Now, a lot of people in the comments came at me pretty hard and said, hey, you moron. The Fast and Furious movies were never really about street racing. They were always crime/heist movies. Nothing's changed. To these absolute fools who claimed this, I agree with you. They weren't about street racing.
Yeah, but like they were heavy. The first three were heavy on the race element of it, though. Yeah, like there's still it was still a heist movie in a sense. We were dealt with criminals and undercover cops and all that stuff. With Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, being the undercover cop trying to take down that group, right? So it is a crime movie at its core, but you can't deny that the first three were not very street race coded, right? Even four was a little street race coded, but then 5 really pushed it into the heist movies.
That wasn't the point of my video. The point is that yes, they're all crime movies. They went from crime movies that had heart to crime movies with no soul. We have seen action movies that have topped themselves after every film, like Mission Impossible, where the movies actually are great. They are consistent.
Facts. Mission Impossible series, no misses. I don't know if you guys seen this. I actually recently watched these. Believe it or not, I have not seen Mission Impossible 1 until 2023. I started watching it. 2023, I binged all of them. No misses.
And some would say they even have gotten better since the earliest ones. But Fast and Furious, they've become cartoons without souls. It wasn't always the case. They used to have heart. You can have an action crime movie that can be good. Not just the same old generic film with characters that are just godlike immortals. There's a theory that explores why this happened. That explores why
this guy has a PowerPoint presentation ready.
Actual people, human beings, in like a crime drama to whatever the hell it is now, Avengers and Justice League put together with characters that cannot die.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong about that too.
Why? Some could say, oh, it's just the movies topping themselves and because of the actors' big egos.
I love the movies though, but yeah, like.
But there's a way to square all this.
There's no danger. There's no danger anymore, right? Like when a character's in danger, you just know somehow they're getting out of this. I don't know how they're getting out of this, but somehow they're getting out of this. You can have a fucking tank. You can have a tank. Aim its missile. It's its fucking gun part right in front of Vin Diesel's face like this. And you're gonna watch it and be like, somehow Vin Diesel's gonna fucking dodge that. And it will happen. Right? There's no sense of like worry. There's no sense of them being in danger
back
anymore.
To the first film in 2001, I think. Remember that final race between Brian and Dom?
Classic.
We're just gonna show who the better racer is. We're gonna race. It's about masculinity, testosterone up in here. We're gonna do one final race. And how did it end? Dom got annihilated by a fucking truck.
Yeah, that is true. That came out of nowhere.
This car crash is one of the biggest ones in the franchise, low-key, despite this being one of the more grounded films in the franchise. This car flipped into the damn air. This was back when Dom still seemed somewhat human, but even after this, He comes out of it completely fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Rubbing one off.
Actually, that's so true. Good point, man. Yeah, like even in the first movie, there was some obscene fucking car crash that somehow they shouldn't have survived.
As if he just got like shot in the arm or something. I mean, realistically, he should be fucking dead or put in a hospital, but no. Brian gave him the keys and let him drive off. And ever since then, Dom has been immortal to worse car crashes and fights. Why? It almost seems fantastical after that moment.
He's got
It
family.
almost seems like it's all one big dream. Everything after the first Fast and Furious movie and Too Fast and Furious. Although Too Fast and Furious, that might not have worked because they do reference Dominic Toretto on that. But everything after this has all been a freaking dream while Dom has been in a coma for the last 10 plus years.
Oh shit.
What happens at the end of Fast X? Jason Momoa lets off all these bombs go off. Jason Momoa lets all these bombs go off and it explodes. And there's a cliffhanger. We don't know what happens to everyone. We assume they're all going to survive because this ain't going to kill all the members of the family. But there's a big explosion. I believe that this is a thing that wakes Dominic up from his 10-year coma. The end to the dream. I have proof that this is the case, y'all. I have proof!
He brought proof.
It all comes down to Rome. In Fast 8, Rome actually calls this out. He calls something out. The fact that, y'all ever notice how we can't die anymore? Like, we almost as if we have powers. And Tej, because he's a simp for the chick, he's like, you're an idiot, Rome. Tej does anything he can to knock Rome down so he can look better in front of this girl. Both Tej and the girl laugh. Both Tej and Ramsey laugh at Rome. They laugh it off. Tej is a clown-ass bitch, in my opinion, because I don't care. I like Luda. And I know a lot of people will be like, how do you hate Tej? How do you hate Tej's legacy is literally throwing Rome under the bus. Rome is the one sane person in here because he's the one calling all this logic tree bullshit out. He always puts Rome down. This goes deeper than just two friends bickering. I believe
it's
that
the clown.
Rome, because of all these,
This is literally AJ's Kino World coded.
Fast 5, we're gonna break into a police station to rob a bank. Fast 6, bro, we're gonna take down a plane. He always calls things out. He's always trying to leave. He represents Dom's subconscious. Dom's mind that is simultaneously aware that this might be a dream, but he's also a character within the dream. Rome represents this, and these two, who always laugh at him, and everyone else who's always silent when he's trying to bring these things up, this logic, they always shut him up. They always laugh at him and tell him to shut up. Tej always tells Rome to shut up. Shut up and dream. We're keeping you in the dream. They are like the hippocampus, the dream state that's keeping Dom locked in, because if he doesn't, it's like a survival thing almost. They have to keep him in the coma, because if he is out of the coma but still asleep, he might die, right? I truly believe that's what they represent. Here's another thing. Vin Diesel himself states that these movies are Oscar worthy. He said if the Oscars want to stay relevant, they better nominate Fast and Furious 7 for a Best Film of the Year award. That's what he thinks about these movies. I think that Vin Diesel has found something in this story, and it's all leading to a film that he wants to put under the name Oscar. He wants to make a film that will get the Oscar.
When Fast X2 comes out and it does not have any coma scene or coma reveal, this dude is finna delete his whole fucking YouTube video. Like, this guy's deleting the whole video.
It's all leading to one thing, guys. They're running away from all this now. After the bomb that was Fast X in the box office, and Vin Diesel apparently blaming it on Jason Momoa, they're running away from anything related to this kind of storyline. They said they're going back to grounded roots now. Sure, but that's what they said. I believe that they have listened to the fan memes, y'all, and have become slightly self-aware, despite Vin Diesel's massive ego and The Rock's massive ego. I believe something's going to happen in the next Fast and Furious movie. This is the most important part of the video, by the way. If you're thinking about leaving, do not. This is the most important part of the movie. I'm about to predict to you what the next Fast and Furious movie is. And yes, I could be violently wrong about this whole thing and just look like an absolute moron when they release a movie that's just like all the others. But I think they might be smarter than that. Okay? I know that's bad for me to say about a Hollywood studio because none of them are smart these days. Don't be mad at me, Fast and Furious fans, who are fans of all the Fast and Furious movies that have come. They love the gimmick. Don't be mad at what
I'm finna get mad.
This movie's about to be. This movie's about to upset y'all. But for the fans that want an actual film, this is what's going to happen, okay? So we start off, Fast X. Big ass explosion at the end of it. Boom! Dom wakes up from his coma. He wakes up in a doctor's office.
So they go with the coma
The
story
audience is
still.
like, what the fuck's going on? He wakes up. He's like, what is this? What the hell is this? His doctor consults him. He's like, hey, you've been in a coma for the last 10 plus years, bro. For over a decade, you've been in a coma. And I don't know why you woke up, but it might have something to do with the fact that Letty decided to pull the plug because she and everyone lost faith that you were coming back. They decided to pull the plug on you. And something about hearing them pulling the plug, it sparked Dom's mind, and now he's back from a coma. It's almost like God is helping him, you know?
Is he gonna say... I'll predict it before he predicts it. Is he gonna say that Dom will be the final bad guy? I swear they already went with the storyline like that where Dom was a bad guy. But is he gonna say that Dom will be the final bad guy because he's pissed that they tried to pull the plug?
It's almost like the cross is being put to use. Everyone in his family, in these movies, has moved on in this last decade. Every one of them has moved on. Everyone that he thought he knew, right? She has Dom's kid. She and Dom, let's say she and Dom had a kid. She was pregnant before, and she's had a kid. She's been raising him on her own for the last 10 years, waiting for Dom. But she's given up now. Dom's son is the same son that he had in the movies. Letty even restored Dom's charger, like she did in the movies, in real life. The Rock is a police officer that was the first to the scene where Dom crashed and brought him to the hospital. That's why The Rock is that law enforcement character Hobbs in the actual movie, in his dream. Charlize Theron is one of the doctors that was on board helping Dom in the hospital. Dominic Toretto is coming to terms with the fact that he's missed over a decade of his life and everyone's moved on. He can't drive anymore. It's a health risk, right? His mind goes berserk with PTSD and shit when he tries to drive, and he just
What a
kind of
theory,
got out of a coma.
though.
It's not advisable to drive either way. So he's stuck. Meanwhile, Letty and Mia have been managing the Toretto's restaurant. That restaurant from Fast and Furious 1 that everyone forgot about. Mia, fine-ass Mia, one of the most literally...
Fine-ass Mia. Yo, valid. Valid. Fine-ass Mia. Valid. Not gonna lie.
one of the most beautiful actresses on planet Earth. I'll go to the grave thinking that, but she tells Dom that in waiting, you know, she got with Brian, but it didn't work out. And unfortunately, something happened. God fucking damn it. Macro keeps putting these fucking hot chicks in these slides to make...
Your stream is so good, my PSR went to sleep 3 times. Like, semi as born? It fucking made you sleep. It made your PS5 sleep? Oh, you're saying that you've been concentrating on my stream, your PS5 slept. Okay. Never mind. Rewind.
Make me look like a pervert. People think I'm thirsty for women on these videos. I'm not. But my assistant Macro puts them in these slides to make me look bad because he's a fucking idiot. She's hot though. Brian O'Connor.
Yo, this guy's me raging on my editor, me raging at TJ.
Think I'm thirsty for women on these videos. I'm not. But my assistant Macro puts them in these slides to make me look bad because he's a fucking idiot. She's hot though. Brian O'Connor, after the events of Too Fast and Too Furious, he died in an attempt at street racing or some kind of heist accident. Something that gave him an adrenaline rush, right? We can't have Paul Walker in this movie, this hypothetical film, right? So we can't have Brian in the film.
Yeah, that's fair. Kill him off. Yeah, let's kill him off.
And Mia tells
Mia
tells Dominic
no Vice City because I checked it at midnight, and midnight Eastern is only 8 a.m. Russian, which means they're just getting up. So it's probably not going to be active until like afternoon, maybe evening their time. So when I'm sleeping and I wake up tomorrow.
Toretto about it. So Dominic Toretto has just learned that Brian, his boy, died doing what Dom loved. So this movie is largely about Dom trying to find his place in this new world after just waking up and dreaming that fantasy of all those Fast and Furious movies we saw, all those crazy action.
That would be a fucking insane
Avengers
movie.
films.
That's the right theory.
He even sees a carjacking happen and he tries to fight them off, thinking he's still the Dominic Toretto from his dreams, that powerful dude who never dies. But he gets his ass beat. He's older now. He just got out of a freaking coma. He's been in a bed for the last 10 years. He gets his ass beat. He's not what he was in his dream. He's not what he was before his dream. So Dom is like, shit, man, what do I do here? I kind of miss my dream life. And Dom copes, trying to convince himself, okay, this might still be a dream. If I pinch myself enough, maybe I'll wake up. It's almost like he's depressed now. This life is too boring for him. He has everything he's ever wanted. He has a business, he has a kid, he has a wife, a girl. He has his family intact. But this life, it's mundane compared to the one he just dreamt, the vivid dream that he just had of his life for the last 10 years in the coma. It's like pathetic to that life he had. Because
is it 2 parts? I thought it was Fast X and Fast 11, Fast X2. That's it. Not 12 movies.
That life he had was insane. He starts to visit everyone in his dream. Everyone that made up the team, the family in his movies, the characters. He visits Rome. Well, Rome and Tej have established their own garage, right? Similar to how it was teased in the Fast and Furious movies. He even visits Hobbs. Dwayne Johnson's character is a police officer, and Dwayne Johnson even says, hey, weird, we don't really like each other in real life. We never got along even when you knew me as a cop before. And Hobbs is the one to bring him to the hospital. That's why Hobbs is in his dream as a law enforcement person. He visits Han and Giselle, or a chick who looks like Giselle, because I'm not... Gal Gadot cannot be casted in these films again. But
what do you pronounce it?
But they tell Dom that they had visited Dom in the hospital many times. In fact, they're not the only ones. John Cena was a construction builder within the hospital that would come in and out of the room that Dom was in, and his voice influenced Dom. That's how John Cena made it into the world. Mr. Nobody is actually just a senior neurologist that was looking up on Dom as a patient. Jason Momoa was this like weird psycho patient that was in the room one time with Dom as well. Dom starts to realize his movies have been created because all these characters, all these people have actually visited him during his coma in real life, and they speaking to him while he's asleep. They have influenced his goddamn dreams to make those films. So Dom is like, fuck, I'm not living in a dream. This is real life, and my dream was just a fiction that my mind created as a response to the shit that was happening outside while I was asleep. So this movie is largely about Dom's character coming to terms with the fact that it's okay to live a mundane life, to appreciate the little things in life, and not go after the crazy adventure, the action,
pop an
the
ice
superhero
Corona.
shit. It's him coming to terms with putting that to bed
Sponsored
and
by
realizing he
Corona.
can live a life beyond that in real life. But then, towards the end of the movie, he gets a call. He hears a nasally British voice on the other end.
Who is it?
Who could it be? He's told to meet this person at the cafe
Shaw.
because the person has important information about their coma. So he sits at the table nervously. Who comes? Shaw, the one guy that hasn't been touched upon yet in this video. Jason Statham comes. Why is Jason Statham calling this dude? Well, Jason Statham says that he and his brother did visit Dom at one point at the hospital too. Why? Because Jason Statham was a fan of Dom way back when Dom was doing the street racing in his prime. You see, Shaw was a lot younger back then and actually looked up to Dom. He was obsessed with cars too.
Pretty interesting theory so far.
And his dream was always to race Dom. So, Jason Statham says, hey, it's been my dream to always race you. And I brought you here because I wanted to ask you, will you do one race with me? Let's see who the fastest is. Just for fun. Now, Dominic Toretto knows that he can't do a race right now because it's against the health advice by all the medical experts. But he says, yeah. He says, yes, let's do it. And Jason Statham suggests, let's go to Desert Wars. You guys remember Desert Wars? The desert place where all these people race? Well, let's go.
Classic area.
Desert Wars is no longer Desert Wars, but they go to the location where it used to happen. So Jason Statham saddles up. Dom saddles up. Dom gets that old Charger back. And Letty, Mia, all of these guys, all these friends of Dom, these family members of Dom, they come to see what's happening. And they're worried about Dom because they've told them, do not do this. But now Dom is adamant about doing so. They're there to support him cautiously. Dom gets out his Charger. Statham, let's say he gets an Aston Martin. I don't know anything about cars, but that's a cool car to me. And they fucking race it out. And it's a really intense race. This is the final act of the film, y'all. It's an intense race. You think Dom might go crazy and crash his car or whatever, but they get to the finish line and Dom edges him out. Dom beats Jason Statham. Dom certainly has a surge of adrenaline, he's like, yes, I'm back, this is who I was. Dom keeps driving. He doesn't come back. He doesn't circle back and come back to his family. He keeps driving, and Letty's like, what the fuck's going on? Where's he going? Everyone's like, where's Dom going? Even Jason Statham's like, what the hell's going on, mate? What's going on, mate? Dom looks in the mirror and she presses on the gas and keeps going. And then we hear the quote, I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and for those 10 seconds or less, I'm free. It's like Dominic Toretto's racing to freedom. He's racing off without stopping into the sunset. And we hear the Oppenheimer music, Oppenheimer level music, rising as he's driving, and then the screen turns to black. That's the end of the movie. And it's left to our interpretation of what happened. Did he drive off and leave Letty and Mia in pursuit of a different life? Or is he trying to crash himself to get another coma again? We don't know. This is the Oscar-worthy film that Vin Diesel has been looking for. Did I cook, y'all? I cooked a little bit. This is.
Yeah, you cooked a little bit. Oscar-worthy though? Oscar-worthy though? Homie just wakes up in a coma, and he wakes up from his coma and he realizes his 10 years of life was just a action movie. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, Oscar, buddy. No, Oscar. You did cook a little bit though. It's a fun theory. It's a fun theory. I don't see it being true at all though.
This is it. Vin Diesel, Universal Studios, take this pitch. I don't want any money. Just take the pitch, put it in the script, all right? But this contemplative philosophical film about Dominic Toretto is supplanted with one
He watched
thing.
The Walking Dead before making the video, right?
You can have an end credit scene. And in that end credit scene, what happens? A freaking T-Rex bursts through the screen. And then we see Dominic Toretto behind it, racing in his Charger with 2 velociraptors at his side. Therefore, we don't know what the fuck just happened. The screen cuts to black again, and we don't know what the fuck just happened. We're left to think, okay, what the hell just happened? Was it all a dream the whole time, or did Dom crash himself again and get another coma? We don't know.
And then what? And then they do a fucking Jurassic World Fast and Furious collaboration.
That's how you end the Fast and Furious franchise. All right? That's how you do it. That's how you do it, all right? If you want to know my thoughts on Dwayne Johnson ruining this franchise and ruining everything else, watch my video on how he's
can I get my 90 minutes back, bro?
20 years, all right?
Rome realizing they can't die was actually really creepy and added a whole nother level. I agree with that. That car crash in the first making Bingo in a coma makes so much sense. The idea of Dom in a coma stuck in the self-made purgatory makes the final scene with Brian somehow even more heartbreaking in the universe. Dude, I'm now accepting this theory as fact. Apparently this dude fucking absolutely cooked with this theory. I think it's a fun theory, but nah, I don't think he cooked at all. Like, I think the part of the coma thing is a good idea. That part's cool, but how he navigates the coma, I don't know about that. You know, I don't think Vin Diesel really has the range to put on an act where it's that emotional, right? He only has like one mode, and that's tough action guy, and that's it.
Yeah, welcome to the stream. Join the team. Yeah, it's fatal. Yeah, it's fatal. We don't need to sleep. Time to eat at the table. Yeah, that's fatal. Listen when he speaks, take a seat, yeah, it's fatal. Yeah, it's fatal. If you try and leave, best believe, yeah, that's fatal.